um, 2138 first. Make a motion to look at the bill. To explain this bill, thank you, Madam Chairman. We're pleased to come to the number of the Department of Environmental Ecology where the home sociology is to take. I'm going to explain the bill. The geologists are going to explain the bill. This is James Barnes for the Department of Environmental Ecology. It's actually the person who discovered the opal in Mississippi, and management is short lesson on Mississippi geology.
Thank y'all for having us here. This is Jonathan Laird, one of our top mapping geologists. I run the surface geological mapping program for the State Geological Survey. We're one of the oldest surveys in the country. We were founded sometime in Mississippi. In 2004, we were doing detailed mapping in Cleveland County, Mississippi, and we ran across something in Mississippi, and that is a precious gemstone, Mississippi opal at the Catawba Formation. 20 million years ago, when this area was, I can pass some of this stuff around. We're cut by the this is the finished product, and pass that around, John. These beautiful stones were found doing the classic work of the Geological Survey, doing geological scale. The work that we do in this detail is what defines these kind of resources. It's quite unusual for the state to have a gemstone. We are a coastal plain geology state. Most of y'all know we don't have a whole lot of true rock outcrops in the state. We have lots of sand, we have lots of gravel, we have lots of limestone and clays. So to have a state gemstone or a gemstone within this state is quite a wonderful thing. I was contacted by Yunnan Wang, a fellow geologist who writes children's books, and we've got a state fossil, which is the fossil whale, which is over at the Natural Science Museum. We have a state stone, which is petrified wood, but we do not have a state gemstone. And when we wrote this book, each state was supposed to, with different surveys, did not have a state gemstone to nominate. And we went ahead and put in this book that Mississippi opal is our only state gemstone. I mean, it's our only precious gemstone within this state. It's the only one ever been found, and is probably one of the only likely ones found. But these books and these types of nominations really help kind of inspire adults and children alike to have curiosity about the world. We have a very, very rich geological heritage in Mississippi, and this would kind of help support that rich geological heritage and people's interest in what's in their own backyards throughout the state. All right. In the geological map that I passed around, the Catawba Formation runs across from Claiborne in Warren County all the way through Rankin Simpson, all the way through and in Hinds County as well, all the way to Wayne County. And so the potential for that opal to occur is all throughout that outcrop. But it is only so far has been found in Claiborne County, Mississippi. And as we do more detailed geological mapping, and people's interest in this grows, maybe more of this material can be discovered within that formation. Maybe another. No, it's currently not mine.
And just to give a little insight, I asked the experts. This is the finished product, which has been set with a gold wire with pearl top. I said, what is the approximate value of this? $2,000 unmounted. So you can see this is not just another rock that's been dug up, something that is similar to what is found in Australia, where they have quite a vibrant industry around the mining of opal. And I just thought this was something that the committee might take interest in. It does affect a lot of people in the southern part of the state. Arkansas has diamond mines where people go and actually dig. So it could be a tourism venue eventually that people would come and look for opals, which you say are found not as big as diamonds, but where?
Yeah, this material is found at the surface, but opal in general, precious opal is more rare than diamond.
So I didn't know all.
Chair, I also have a question. If we choose a gemstone, is that going to engage any type of legislation where people can't use their private property for economic development? Where it's a vein or something like that, and you'll say, oh, no, we can't disturb it. Is that going to engage that in any way?
No,
Not like a sale garden, perhaps.
No, we encourage people to have an interest in the geology in their own backyards. Hopefully we'll actually get people interested in finding things in their backyards. So no.
Is it found like stones on the ground, or is it run in veins like gold? Tell me about that.
All right, what we have determined so far is where you have the common opal, just like we find in Australia, the precious opal may possibly be shortly behind. When opal is found in Australia, it's first that the common opal is found, and then they keep looking, and only about 10% of the opal mined in Australia is actually the precious opal. So they're looking through this common opal to find the precious opal. We know that the common opal does occur throughout the formation across the state, and it really occurs in these about 2 to 3 inch veins within the formation.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We have a motion. We have a motion. All right. Any opposed? All right, this bill will be reported out. Thank you very much for your informative and well-researched presentation. Okay, our next bill, we're going to go back to Senate Bill 2006. And we need to get this one out because it's got some time. Recognize Chairman McMahon. Didn't have my copy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I would like to place an amendment within this. It's my understanding there is a category of alcohol that is not allowed in Mississippi, that it's in demand, and its edibles are submerged in alcohol. For example, some people like to enjoy Kentucky or Tennessee moonshine. It'll have a whole peach in it, or there'll be an apple inside of it. Well, that product is not legal to sell in the state of Mississippi because it's an edible. Same is true of different types of spirits or wines. If they wanted to place real cherries or real grapes in the product, that's illegal. So I would like to add an amendment in summary to give council the ability to allow edibles to be sold in package stores, and that be a new category of product.
Questions?
So you can put like Skittles in the vodka?
No, it's my understanding it's a natural product as far as like the peach, the apple, the pear, the grape, whatever's fermented the product, they want that to be added. And it's my understanding it's in high demand. People go to Tennessee and Kentucky just to buy these products because they cannot be purchased in Mississippi. So I know there are people in the legislature that are in this type of business, and that, they may have something to add to it. But I've had several people approach me about it, and I said I would try to add this amendment to this.
Any other questions?
All right.
We are on the bill. Question about the bill itself.
So all the bill does is extend the repealer dates for wineries and meaderies and distilleries. That's all the bill does, other than the new code section, which would be that amendment. If there aren't any questions, I move for title sufficient, do pass, committee sub.
All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? That bill will be. That bill is the one that is Senator Black was going to explain it to us. It's Senate Bill 2050.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. This is a bill in our peer package, and you probably should have received at the beginning of the session a package from peer with all the studies that they had conducted over the past year, and then some of the legislation that is being recommended. This is one such piece. Back in 1972, we passed a bill saying that the pier would do an annual report on the Mississippi Development Authority. What this bill does is just extends that in addition to the pier is also going to take a look at the advertising and marketing efforts paid through the MDA Tourism Advertising Fund, including but not limited to the effectiveness of attracting out-of-state visitors, effectiveness of digital advertising efforts, and the administration and oversight by MDA regarding the Tourism Advertising Fund. The first review will be in 2025, and then will occur every 4 years afterwards. And it's an explanation of the bill.
Question. We had a bill of work. Something to do with the nature of this. What's the difference in this legislation and what we have before the side?
No, ma'am, not being on the committee, I don't know what all you took up, but
But this was requested by Peter, in black, and I both saw. Not a bad thing, and so. He asked me, I said, yes, please do. Any other questions? Senator Blackman for motion.
Conversation do pass.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Right, that bill will be reported out. Next, we are just so blessed to have people who are willing to come in and explain things to us. We have Senator Michelle. Sorry, I'm trying to punctuate Senator Blackwood. Senator Michelle is going to explain this bill to us and his worked diligently on it. Senate Bill 2137.
Very support this legislation, Madam Chairman. Thank you for allowing me to be before the committee. I know many of you have heard from your garden club back in your communities. Many of you offered the bill. They had an initiative to get many co-authors, and unfortunately, they got the list to me too late after I'd introduced the legislation. I've got about another 7 or 8 members who want to be co-authors of the legislation. But I happened to have been in an Ole Miss baseball game last spring and had my ear bent about the importance of garden clubs throughout Mississippi and initiative, national initiative to make native plant month. It was important that enough that the United States Senate passed a declaration last year to name April as National Plant Month, and Governor Reeves had a proclamation last year naming the month of April as Native Plant Month. And it brings the importance of the fact that we've got over 2,700 native varieties of plants and bushes and trees in Mississippi, and how important they are because they use less fertilizer and they're drought resistant, pest resistant. And you know, I took this apart, and I'm going to look in Ridgeland and see if we've got a local club there I can join. I was going to suggest Senator Carter join one on the Gulf Coast, and we can meet summer convention and then report back to the committee next year on our findings.
Senator Michelle, if there's any garden club in the section except Senator Carter. Please attend to your bill. This is the thing.
I'll be glad to answer any additional questions. There are any. Pretty simple.
All right. I have a motion on the floor, obviously, passed. All in favor? Any opposed? That bill will be reported out.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Senator
Thank you.
Michelle. Move down to 2139, which is the semi-quincentennial, I think is the way you say that. We've had a number of centennial developments since I've been in the. This is an act to establish a Mississippi USA semi-quincentennial commission. This is not anything extraordinary. We've done it before with the bicentennial and other things. If you would like to look through the bill, basically, the first lady of the state will be chair of this commission, and it will be a way to help us celebrate the 250th anniversary of America. Take a moment to look at the bill. If you have any questions, I will attempt to answer. Yes, sir.
Is this going to require appropriation?
Well, let's see.
Just noted with the bicentennial, we spent a lot of money on that.
It's only comes to tourism, so I don't guess it really requires. It creates a fund.
Run one thing at reach.
Table this and do it in terms.
No, I was just. That's officially good.
We have a motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It will be reported out. The next one that we have is, we've got a lot of bills this year. 2359, which is the Main Street Revitalization Grant Program. And we need to get this one out because it is doubly referred to appropriations. And this is to create a Mississippi Main Street Revitalization Grant Program to be used to match local funds to make grants for the purpose of Mississippi Downtown Revitalization Project. That these funds will be administered by the Department of Finance Administration and to describe the conditions for the allocation to the fund and prescribe eligible costs for monies for the fund may be allocated. In other words, this is about our downtown. We have to make some is term. That's like the other one. And so we have addressed that, I believe, in this legislation, and I think it's a good piece of legislation. So unless you have questions, I'm open for a motion.
That was supposed to be better.
All right. All, yes, please, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this bill will be reported out, so we go to appropriations. Next, we have Senate Bill 2732, which is something that, Senator Thompson, I'm going to recognize you to explain this to us. It's your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, ma'am, it is. Senate Bill 2732 seeks to create a grant program under MDA, under the tourism arm of MDA, for the Mississippi Gulf Association, to promote tourism through golf to the state of Mississippi. The Mississippi Gulf Association organizes a nonprofit. It has a board who nominates an executive director. This bill is somewhat of a placeholder in the sense that we simply took some other grant program and substituted in MGA. MGA is meeting with MDA tomorrow. MGA is meeting with MDA tomorrow to go over, and I anticipate there will be some revisions to this bill before it comes up in appropriations. In the interest of time and given the approaching deadline, I ask that we pass this out as sort of a placeholder with the anticipation there may be some revisions.
And I'd like to thank you with initiative because, as you know, our rep it right will come there, golf courses the next time, I think, for us to move forward as well. So, for motion. I have a question, sorry. Well,
We,
Got a reverse paper, doesn't
I believe it, yeah, I think no, it does not.
yeah, what do you would you like to make that motion?
Motion to add reverse.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now would you like to make a motion?
Motion to pass motion as amended.
All in favor?
Aye.
Committees.
Thank you. This bill is reported out. Last bill, and we grab the paper, we like to explain this one to us. 2830.
What this bill is attempting to do, we've got a large salt print company that when you get into the some kind of arrangement in a pet. They've got some kind of arrangement of Boston beer, Boston beer center. And the arrangement is that Pepsi is selling Mountain Dew liquid to Boston beer. Boston beer is making a hard Mountain Dew out of it. But then Pepsi has created their own distribution system. to sell this product to a licensed retailer. We think it violates the tier system. And just to put a clarification into the statute, where they're not a brewery, but they're still have some kind of ownership in it, directly or indirectly, that they would be prohibited to be by the script.
So my question for the committee, this is to make sure that everybody plays by the same rules, correct?
Coca-Cola is also doing the same thing, but they're using their current distribution system. They're using Constellation and most tools to make some flavor malt beverage products out there, but they're using Constellation distribution network and they're using the most coolers. That's what around the country to sell their products.
Senator Thompson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have two small distilleries in my district. One runs moonshine and bourbon, and the other one is a rum distillery. And from working with those guys over the years, I understand that sometimes they purchase. I'm not an expert on manufacturing alcohol, but sometimes they purchase like the ethanol, the base, and then they blend stuff in it to make the final product. Would this have any effect on those guys? Okay.
This was deal with beer, white wine, and light spirit product.
That was the light spirit product that got my attention.
Well, that would be 6% by weight, with 7
Yeah, okay.
ABC. All under the ABC.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure. Appreciate
Any other questions? No motion?
it.
We have a motion, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, none opposed, so.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing? Yeah. Thank you for that.
It's got numbers.